Hello! It is time for another round of Shardathon, and we're once again back on Scadrial, this time in Era 2, which seemed fitting considering that the Cosmere Unbounded crew are currently reading Era 2 of Mistborn. So that's the basis of this round of Shardathon, and it's a shorter round this time, just 2 weeks running from the 6th to the 19th of September, including those 2 days, because I know that September can be a busy month for a lot of people. So we're going with a nice, short and sweet readathon this time. I am also once again joined by some wonderful co-hosts, which is as always very, very exciting for me. We see the return of Joanna from the channel Joanna Sosa and Jessie from the channel The Bookish Mum, as well as being joined by a brand new co-host this time, which is Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse, and I will of course have all of their channels linked down in the description for you, along with all of the details for Shardathon. I will link a Google Drive like I usually do with all of the I will link a Google Drive down in the description with all of the graphics and everything that you can feel free to download and share if you would like to as well. But without any further ado, let us get into the prompts for this round of Shardathon. So as usual and in typical Shardathon fashion, they are very broad, so you can interpret these in whatever way you like. You can pretty much read any book for any of these prompts, and as ever, doubling up, tripling up, quadrupling up, however manying up is encouraged. So if you want to read one book that fits all of the prompts, then awesome for finding a book that satisfies all of the prompts, which actually shouldn't be too difficult, and do that. Read whatever you want. In fact, I will probably be doing a mood reading month in September, so I might not even have a TBR specifically for Shardathon, but I might do like a recommendations video for it, perhaps. Let me know what you think of that. But the point is, you can feel free to interpret these prompts in whichever way you like, and it also means that you can combine this readathon with other readathons that I know are happening in September if you would like to, pretty easily as well. So there are 5 main prompts and then 3 bonus prompts, because I wanted to give enough prompts to be challenging for those of you who want a challenge, but also I didn't want too many prompts because it's only a 2-week readathon. So there are 5 prompts that if you complete them you win Shardathon, but that's not really the point of Shardathon anyway. It's really just more about reading for fun and chatting to people who love Sanderson's Cosmere, really. And so, as I say, you can double up as much as you want to, but if you want that challenge and you want to read a full 8 books, then you can. If you want to just complete the main prompts, but you want to complete 1 book per prompt, then that's 5, and so on and so forth. So you really just make this work for you however you want to do it. So I'll start with the compulsory prompts. The first one is Waxillium Ladrian, a book you think you should read. So Wax is a character who feels a lot of obligation and doesn't necessarily do the things that he wants to do unless he feels that they are the right thing to do, the thing that he should be doing. And so that was the inspiration for this particular prompt. You can take this to mean, for example, a book that you have already committed to reading, or that you already have a plan to buddy read, or that if you've already planned your TBR for the month, one of the books that was already on your planned TBR for September, or just a book that's been on your TBR for a while and you feel like, yeah, I should probably get around to that now, or a book that you feel desperate that you want to read and so you think you probably should read it because you're in the mood to. Very, very broad. Next up is Wayne, a book that you think you'll have fun reading. If you've ever read Era 2, I think you will agree that Wayne is a very fun and sort of whimsical kind of character in a lot of ways, and he definitely likes to have a good time and make us all laugh, and so that's what inspired this particular prompt. And again, there's no obligation on you. Like, if you read the book and you didn't have a fun time reading it, then you can still count it because you thought you were going to have fun. And if you start a book, and this goes for any of the prompts, if you start a book and you don't like it and you want to DNF it, you will still have satisfied that prompt. It's fine. This is not policed in any way. You do whatever works for you. So this is just a book that you think that you'll have a fun time reading. And if you have a fun time reading scary books, horror books, tense books, those count too. It doesn't have to be a book that the general populace would find quote unquote fun. It's what you think you will have a fun time reading, that you will enjoy reading. Next up is Marcy Combs, a book outside of your comfort zone. So Marcy is really interested in getting involved with all of the investigation and detective work that goes on in Era 2, but it's not necessarily what she was raised to want to do, and it's not necessarily what people would expect her to do, but she does it anyway because it's what she wants. And so this prompt is all about making you read a book that perhaps you haven't been prioritizing because maybe it's something that isn't within your usual wheelhouse. Now, this might be something simple like reading a poem if you don't read a lot of poetry. It could be reading a book that's slightly longer than the books you usually read, or the opposite, a book that's usually shorter than the books you read. Maybe it's a book in a genre that you don't get to very often but wish that you did. Maybe it's a book in a genre that you never get to but you've been meaning to try out. Again, very broad. Take this to mean whatever you want. On the flip side of that, the next prompt is Steris Harms, a book that is within your comfort zone. Steris is a character who, well, she's autistic first of all, and she likes to have a plan. She likes to set things up in a way that works for her. She likes to operate within her comfort zone. Not that she won't take herself outside of that comfort zone, but it's not what she prefers to do. And so this one is a prompt for you to just read something that you would normally read. Pretty easy to satisfy. Basically pick anything you want, and if you really want to read it, chances are it's within your comfort zone. So read it. And this one in particular fits really well for the purposes of doubling up with the other prompts too. So that's that one. And then the final compulsory prompt is Harmony, which is to read a book that you're excited to read. So Harmony, of course, is, I'm not going to say who it is, but it's the shard that exists on Scadrial in Era 2, and as the name suggests, it's all about creating balance and hopefully ensuring that everybody on the planet is happy and at peace. And so naturally this is a book that you are really excited to read, that you're really keen to get to. So maybe this is a book that you've just added to your TBR. Maybe it's a new release that comes out during Shardathon. Maybe it's a book that you look at your shelf and you go, actually, I really fancy reading that this month. Do it. Read whatever is speaking to you for this prompt. And again, this one links really nicely with a lot of the other prompts, so lots of doubling up potential here. Then for those of you that want a challenge, or if there are some prompts from the compulsory list that you're not a fan of and you'd rather read a book for a different prompt, there are 3 bonus prompts for you to pick from as well, and these are based on the magic systems that exist in Era 2 on Scadrial. So the first one is misting, which of course is an allomantic magic which allows people to burn metals in order to gain a certain ability. And the prompt is to read a recent addition to your TBR, because of course allomancy is kind of a one-time only thing. You consume the metal, you burn it, you use it, and then you have to start over again. So this one is also, again, very open to interpretation. What you consider a recent addition is entirely up to you. It might be something that you have literally added on the day that you watch this video. It might be a book that you've added during the course of September that you want to pick up. It might be a book that you added last year or the year before last year, depending on what you consider to be a recent addition to your TBR. Basically just pick something that's newer to your TBR and read it. On the flip side of that, we have Ferrochemist, which is someone who uses ferrochemy, and for ferrochemy this is all about storing up abilities for use at a later date, and so naturally the prompt for this one is to read a book that has been on your TBR for a while. But again, that is entirely up to your own interpretation. Maybe a while is you bought it a week ago, maybe a while is you bought it 5 years ago, maybe a while is somewhere in between those 2 points. Whatever that means to you, that is what you read. And again, just look at your shelves, pick something, whatever you want, and read it. And then finally we have Twinborn, which is a new kind of magic system for Era 2 of Mistborn, which is where someone has both allomantic and ferrochemical abilities. Sorry if I seem distracted. Shinji is playing with a toy right in front of me and it's so cute. I wish I could show you, but if I turn the camera around he will stop, but you'll just have to believe me that it's just adorable. In fact, maybe I can try and catch it on my phone. Shinji. So cute. So yes, basically it's the combination of allomancy and ferrochemy, and so the prompt for this one is to read a sequel. I imagine that many of you watching this video and watching my channel in general are SFF readers, and there tend to be a lot of series in the SFF world, and if you're anything at all like me, you have a number of series on the go, and it can be really hard to prioritise reading those sequels. So here is your excuse if you need one. Read a sequel. Simple as that. Any sequel. It could even be a spin-off. It could be a novella set in that world. It could be a prequel even. Whatever you want. If it's in a series in some shape or form, read it. And if you want to just start a new series, then I'm not going to judge you because I do that all the time too. So hopefully these prompts sound fun to you. They're super, super broad, as I mentioned multiple times in this video, so feel free to use them and play around with them however you want. Double up, triple up, quadruple up, however many up, and let me know what you're planning on reading if you're planning on joining in. I'm hoping that I'll be able to run some reading sprints during this readathon, and I'm also hoping to do maybe a giveaway, possibly of a Ponderful Books parcel, so let me know if you like that idea too. I hope that you will join us. Make sure that you do check out my wonderful co-hosts Joanna, Jessie and Stephanie down in the description bar. And don't forget to check out Ponderful Books down in the description bar too, in case you want to see what I'm talking about when I say that. And that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like this from me, then do think about hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks. Bye.